4:31 a.m., a Russian Navy ship worth 200 million stopped in the quiet waters of Lake Onega. This ship carried guided missiles and was on its way to the Caspian Sea. It sat at the heart of the key 141-mile White Sea-Baltic Canal. This canal linked Russia's naval bases to the Baltic Sea through St. Petersburg. The 950-ton ship saw this spot as its safest stop. Then alarms went off. The crew rushed to figure out what was wrong. It was not a machine problem. It was an attack. The first quick report from the ship's bridge to the Northern Fleet base in St. Petersburg came over the radio. It was full of surprise and fear. Just 30 minutes before, at 3 a.m., the ship's captain was relaxing in his room. He had no fears at all. They were in Karelia, more than 621 miles from the fighting, right by the Finnish border and close to St. Petersburg. This was one of Russia's most protected inner waterways. Ukrainian missiles or drones could not reach here. No warnings came to the ship's control area. Things looked normal in the middle of the 141-mile White Sea-Baltic Canal. At the control center in Petrozavodsk, near the lake, the worker on duty did his usual job. His screen showed changes to lock times and water levels for a group of nuclear submarines coming from the White Sea. His only worry was his hot tea getting cold. The Grad was a dangerous attacker. It held 8-caliber cruise missiles that could carry nuclear tips. The ship had strong defenses against many threats. Moved from the Black Sea because of rising Ukrainian risks, the captain had lowered the ship's alert level. Many crew members were off duty on land. The strong AK-630 close defense guns were set to wait mode. The leader thought this was the best safe place. He was very wrong. Lake Onega was the main turn in the 141-mile canal. It was the widest and slowest part to cross, so it was the biggest weak spot. Ukraine had aimed right at this spot with careful planning. It started with a Ukrainian Horizia M ground listening system. This was hidden near the front line. These truck-based units had been catching Russia's secret military radio talks from deep inside the country for months. A few days back, weak radio signals came from a strange place. In Russia's northwest, on a top command channel normally for the Black Sea Fleet only, the signal's power and direction showed the source was on the water path between St. Petersburg and the White Sea. This was odd. Why was a Black Sea command unit near the finish line? Using this clue, Ukraine's satellite photo team got to work. Pictures from business radar satellites checked ship moves on the White Sea-Baltic Canal. But all warships less than 164 feet wide, like Russia's Northern Fleet nuclear submarines, used this inner path as a hidden way to skip NATO's risky waters. Those areas were watched by Norway and Britain's radar and sound detectors. But the Russian ship got caught in a different trap. Finally, a shape like a B&M Corvette showed up in Lake Onega's big waters. The ship was stopped in the lake's center, away from busy boat paths. Now they knew where it was. The last key check came from a secret spy group inside Russia. This group worked with Ukraine's main intelligence office in the Defense Ministry. They said the ship was the Grad. It had been pulled from the Black Sea and hidden here to escape growing Ukrainian dangers. The ship's leader felt safe. For Ukraine, this came from big overtrust in Russia's leaders. A direct hit on this target was not possible. The area was covered by S-400 defenses for St. Petersburg and protected by local Pantsir guns. So the plan used tricks and exact hits, not big force. From Ukraine's tools, they picked the right one for the job. The Lyuty has a fight range of about 746 miles. It can drop a 165-pound explosive charge on its goal. What made it deadly was its three-part guide system, made to beat Russian air defenses. The first part was the Inertial Navigation System, or INS. It found its way without GPS, using built-in turn sensors and saved land maps called TERCOM. The second was a many-band satellite receiver, made to fight Russia's strong GPS block tries. The last part turned on near the end, an electro-optical and infrared camera head. The plan's win depended on the Lyuty getting there safe. To do that, they had to pull Russian eyes away. This is where the trick part started. The Lyuty would have 2 Banshee LR electronic fight drones with it. These were changed for this job and used the same long fly body as the Lyuty. Their job, fly ahead and next to the Lyuty, spot Russian air defense radars turning on, and make short 5 to 10 second blind spots by sending aimed jam signals. The trick was easy. The Banshees would fly a bit higher and in a more open path than the Lyuty, pulling all the watch from local defenses to them. They were bait to keep the hunter busy. The mission began with the Lyuty and 2 Banshee LRs taking off from a secret base in northern Ukraine. They flew for hours to the target, using paths over Russia's empty north areas that had the weakest air defense radars. About 3 hours in, a Russian Nebo-M radar in Tver area caught a short signal. But one Banshee LR right away found the radar's wave and sent a strong jam signal. This turned the small spot on the worker's screen into useless static. The signal did not come back. About 62 miles from the target, a Pantsir S-1 group guarding Lake Onega saw and locked on the 2 Banshees coming low. This was the mission's most dangerous time. While the Pantsir team focused on the 2 clear threats in front, the Lyuty, flying miles behind and much lower, slipped by without being seen from the radar's bottom beam. Russian leaders did not think much of it and did not raise alerts around St. Petersburg's port and oil plants. Seconds later, at 4:30 a.m., the Lyuty was over Lake Onega. Its EO/IR camera turned on. It started looking over the calm water. In a few seconds, it found a match to its saved heat and sight picture. The Grad Corvette stopped, its engines cooling but still giving off a clear heat sign. The match program said yes. The Lyuty started its last drop. The sound of its piston motor cut the quiet night like a saw, heading straight to the power room, one of the ship's soft spots. The 165-pound charge went through the ship's thin side like nothing, and blew up in the room with the engines and power makers. The first boom led to much bigger follow-up blasts from the ship's own fuel catching fire. Russia's safe spot went up in fire. This attack was more than a normal army move or one ship burning in cold water. It was the time when Russia's old idea of safe distance, a belief deep in its grow big history, the dream of always keeping enemies on other lands while keeping home safe, fell apart. That a big, special target could be hit and broken in a lake deep in Russia, hundreds of miles from the main fight in the Black Sea, in a place thought super safe, was the clearest sign of growing fear behind the Kremlin's closed doors. With this bold, almost can't-believe attack, Ukraine not only brought the war to Russia's inner parts and safe paths, it turned the Russian Navy's best hide spot into a fire trap, leaving Putin with a problem he can't fix. To see the full big shake of this army break, we need to set the scene right. The Lake Onega on maps is not a normal water spot. It is the main bloodline of Russia's North Army setup, the beat of a strong water road full of secrets. It is the key middle of the important White Sea-Baltic Canal, connecting Murmansk's cold ports to the Baltic through St. Petersburg. This tricky water system, built in the last century on the hard work, pain, and dead bodies of many Gulag workers, is a 141-mile wonder of building and sad history, joining the Arctic's ice waters to St. Petersburg's fancy front. Open ship data and leaked Russian Navy papers show this canal works 2 ways for Moscow. For business, it moves wood, nickel, and other goods to world buyers. But much more dangerous loads use it too, hidden from world watch eyes and radar. From Western spy reports, all boats less than 164 feet wide, including nuclear-ready submarines from Russia's northern fleet, use this inner path as a see-through way to skip NATO's danger waters, covered by Norway and Britain's radar and sound nets. In short, This canal lets Russia quietly move its North nuclear attack power out of world sight. Lake Onega is the most important join in this path, the biggest, slowest to go through, so the most open spot. And Ukraine had put its knife with doctor-like care into this exact spot, the soft belly of the Russian giant. The waves from the boom on Lake Onega not only bent the Grad's body like cheap metal, they broke an old story that shaped Russian army thinking. The story of safe distance. This story had always been the Kremlin's best guard, its last safe place, from the old kings to the Soviets to Putin's time. The idea was simple. Russia's size, its hugeness, meant no enemy army could get to its center, Moscow, without running out of supplies or getting beat by Russia's hard winter, the famous General Winter. Napoleon's strong, big army had melted before Moscow's fires. Hitler's fast tank push had frozen in Stalingrad's ruins and got lost in time. This huge land had always been Russia's best shield. Wars happened far away, in Poland, Afghanistan, Syria, while the home stayed safe, untouched, special. The hit on the Crimean Bridge was the first crack in this shield's cover. Drones dropping on Moscow buildings made the crack bigger like a bad sickness. But breaking a missile ship in Lake Onega, right next to St. Petersburg, is the last, old, and heaviest nail in this story's box. This hit clearly showed that today's long, far exact weapons, computer-helped targeting, and brave secret moves make land size mean nothing. There is no more thing like a fight line. The fight area is now a moving, hidden net that goes from Ukrainian holes to Russia's farthest nuclear spots, the east train roads in Siberia, and Putin's safest hidden lakes, open to hits from anywhere at any time. Safe distance is no longer a shield. It is a big area of weak spots that stretches thousands of miles and can't be guarded. Russia's best strong point has become its worst problem. Right after this army story falls, a more dangerous, more spreading second bad effect starts like a sickness. Mind break. The real goal of this hit is not the Grad's metal body, but the fake idea of safety in the heads of Russia's leaders and people. This starts a new, much harder part in mind war. Up to now, especially for leaders, rich bosses and fancy people in Moscow and St. Petersburg, the war was a far-off thing that others did in Donbass or Zaporizhia, seen on government TV. As long as their nice lives, boats on the Neva, high-class food spots, and seeming strong order went on, they did not care what the Kremlin did in Ukraine or how many died. The Lake Onega hit broke this comfy, proud bubble like a sharp pin. Look at the map again. Onega is almost St. Petersburg's backyard, Russia's #2 city for art and money, the home of Putin and today's leaders. These leaders now must face the fact. The area of their summer houses, their kid trips, their bought peace from stolen West money, is now a war place. The war is not on TV anymore, because the war has come to their doors. This is the time when the dream of buying steady and safe with bad got money ends. This is the time when the quiet deal Putin gave them, stay with me, and I'll keep your money in place safe, gets torn up. Fear starts to spread like a quiet fire on secret phones and private chat groups. If we are not safe there, we are not safe anywhere. And this fear pushes the Kremlin into a no-way-out problem, a slow but sure army choke. Putin and his team, now sweating over their big maps, face a choice with no good end. Will they use their top S-400 air block guns, already low in number, and best teams to hold the falling fight lines, where many soldiers die every day, or pull these can't-lose tools from the front to guard the huge backland that goes thousands of miles? Key water paths, nuclear spots, army bases, train joins, and factory centers. This is a game where both ways end bad. If they make the front weak, they open the door for Ukraine's big planned push, which has been ready for months, and risk full fall. If they leave the back open, They let hits like Lake Onega's go on and get bigger. Supply lines stop full, and the mess of war feel real in every town and road in Russia. This is a slow, hard, and painful squeeze, smashing the Russian war machine under its own huge size.